Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Is she satisfied or dissatisfied? She is just a customer, just like everyone else. Like always, giving it to you raw and unedited. Over to you, the short one.
Hey, welcome to another episode of my podcast. I'm feeling a bit shattered right now, but I'll try and put some oomph into my podcasting. I'm absolutely shattered. Like, my body's just aching. I feel like I've wrestled with a buffalo. I've hiked up Kilimanjaro, and I've outrun Mo Farah. So Mo Farah? Anyway, Mo Farah, Mo, the guy with the M on his head. So anyway, last week, okay, let's just say rain. That's how I can describe it. So Wednesday, non-stop raining. I come up my flat and I knew it was raining. For some reason, I just came out with an umbrella, opened the door, and I was like, oh shit, had to go all the way upstairs again, get my umbrella and everything. Lovely bright yellow, really nice umbrella. Gosh, whoever invented brollies was a genius. Although I kind of feel like you don't get 100% dry because my bag was still a bit damp. But anyway, but that ruined my mood. So I knew that when I go out, it wasn't going to be a good day because I was a bit grumpy. Because rain, I love rain, but rain is nice when you're indoors and you look out the window. Not when you're the one outside and you kind of hope that a car doesn't go over a puddle and you get splashed. Yet that happened to me years and years and years ago. And it wasn't a good experience because all I kept thinking was, it wasn't the fact that it was rain and the fact that I was wet. It was the fact that, oh my gosh, this water contains vomit, shit, spit, everything. Like, yuck, like disgusting. Because I've got a thing about hygiene, and that's all I kept thinking was, it's in my face and ugh. But anyway, so going down to the town centre, and I noticed Jamie Oliver's restaurant's gone. Like, I knew they were closing some down, but it was just so weird how quick that was. You know I was housebound because I was so ill the week before, but it was like everything's just changed. It felt like I'd just come out of a TARDIS and everything around me is just completely changed. It was like I was an alien, and yeah, it was so weird. But and I think it was Jamie Oliver's restaurant. I really wanted to go there, and I kept making plans like, must go there at some point, must go there. And then look what happened, completely gone. And that always happens to me. When sometimes you see a building and you've seen it for so many years, like every single day, you always see it and then suddenly it disappears. And you kind of think, I wonder what it was like in there. But you never learn. Well, I never learn anyway. But the thing is, so I went to the market and I noticed that not all the stores were there. And I kind of thought, goodness me, it's only rain. This is Britain. It's just a bit of rain, like, what the hell? Like, for markets, small businesses, don't let the weather get you down. This is Britain. We know rain. We can have 4 seasons in one day. And it was just disappointing. Not that I needed anything from the stalls that weren't there, but it was just kind of saddened and disappointing to kind of think that, okay, a bit of rain. Oh, I'm not going to work. It's all right. Forget the takings for that day. But remember, there's customers out there that, you know, in St. Albans, like, there's probably, like, tourists. Look at me making it sound like it's central London. But, yeah, there's probably tourists, like, people that have flown, like, from Japan or China or Hong Kong or Mogadishu or something. And they're like, we got to go to St. Albans because it's an amazing place. Forget central London and Buckingham Palace and Big Ben and what's that? Piccadilly Circus lights and, you know, Camden Town. Forget that. Let's all go down to St. Albans. And then the market's not even fully functioned. It was saddened. It was really kind of like, and that kind of pissed me off as well. Because I just thought, it's only a bit of rain. You've got that canopy cover shit. You lot are dry. It's us that walk past you in that canopy thing that you've got over your head, and then the water just falls on us. You know, it's us that are in danger of rainwater, not you. But yeah, all I can say is wimps. But at least my butcher's was there, so I was able to get my dosage of ribs, which was brilliant. And oh, they tasted amazing because I did the slow cook. So I cooked them for like 3 hours. And the way the meat just fell off the bone, and you know the knuckle bit, I don't know what you call it, but not the bone, but that white bit, the one where if you cook it normally, it's very hard to bite into or cut it with a knife. But it was literally like just so soft. You know, it was so lovely. But, you know, butchers don't let me down. So that's good. If they hadn't been there, I would have freaked out. I would have freaked out because I don't want to go and buy from Tesco. Once you, oh, look at me, my stammer. Once you try butchers, you kind of feel that, I'm actually eating like something real, you know, I don't know, real. But when it's something from like Tesco's, you kind of think, but it's pumped with water and all this kind of stuff, and it's kind of got different kind of flavour to it. But yeah, so the butchers didn't let me down at all. So I got my ribs. I was happy bunny. But carried it all the way home. I didn't have my trolley, so I was literally just carrying heavy stuff, which was a bit annoying, especially when I slipped in the rain. Because I was wearing, I learnt something new. When it rains, don't wear trainers, because rubber and water that's on cement, not cement, but on the metal bit, because you know the pavement has the drainage, not drainage, but you know the pavement, they'll have a slab that's metallic. Yeah, I slipped on that. I kind of went whoosh, just 1 foot though, but 1 foot sliding forward, and I went fuck, you know, and that's what I did, because I didn't say it out loud, I didn't scream out loud, because I don't want to draw more attention to myself. But yeah, my knee hurt a little bit, but thank goodness it was a little bit, because that could have been like a serious like pain and stuff. But yeah, let me just have a quick break, because this might be a short podcast, who knows. So don't forget, on my website, www.iamjustacustomer.com, Twitter, I'm Just a Customer, and Facebook, I Am Just a Customer, and Instagram, I Am Just a Customer. And don't forget, with this podcast, wherever you're hearing it, just press the share button if there's one. And if there's a review button, utilize it. But yeah, sharing is caring and all that. But anyway, going back. So let's talk alternative therapy. So I think I mentioned before that I suffer from insomnia and tried everything. And I went to a few, like, I don't know, holistic places where they do massage and acupuncture and stuff. But I've done acupuncture, I've done hypnotherapy, didn't really work out for me. But at this point I was just like, I'll try anything. But yeah. But anyway, so I was directed to Neal's Yard. And I shouldn't really promote large companies, but Neal's Yard, I know Neal's Yard. I've seen it before, never really went in there. Or I always thought it was like a glorified body shop. And I always thought, oh, I bet they sell like perfume oil or something. I just thought it was like a, I don't know, glorified body shop, basically. No idea why. So I never really had a need to go in there. Like even Body Shop, I rarely go into Body Shop. Body Shop reminds me of my school days. Because I always get everyone's presents. If it was your birthday, you'd always get something from Body Shop. But yeah, so with Neil's Yard, I just thought it was the same. But yep, they made a concoction for me. And I gotta say, the customer service in there was amazing. The staff in there were absolutely amazing. I mean, I like to talk, as you know. And if I didn't, I wouldn't do a podcast. But I was really talkative in there. But I think it's because I hadn't slept. So it was like I was sleep talking. But I was chatting and chatting. And they were chatting back. We laughed. We joked. I mean, we were so close to being, I don't know, Facebook friends. Like, we were that close. And it was so great. The girls in there are amazing. But yeah, gave me a concoction. Went home, tried it. It worked, you know, it worked for a few days. But yeah, it worked. But I must say, it's the girls in there. I can't speak for all Neil's Yard, but the girls in the St. Albans branch were a breath of fresh air. They were a breath of fresh air. So that was good. That was great. I was a happy bunny. And if I'm a happy bunny, everyone's a happy bunny. So I was thinking the other night, checks. Do you remember those checkbooks? Like blankety blank checkbook and pen? Can you still use checks like in shops? Cause I was thinking to myself, I've never seen anyone say, oh, can I pay my groceries by check? Like someone goes, oh, your bill's like, I don't know, £13.98. Oh, here's a checkbook. Let me get my checkbook out. Do you have a pen? I've never seen anyone do that. And I've always wondered, do shops accept checks? I can't try it out because I don't have a checkbook. But I suppose you've got to have a check guarantee card. But I don't know. Yeah, but you don't get check guarantee cards anymore. But when was the last... I don't remember. I know I've read it before, like a few years back, that checks were dying out. But I didn't know... I didn't hear like, oh, you've only got till this date to use your last check slip. But checks were so cool. I remember when I was younger and I got a checkbook, I felt all grown up. You know, when you sort of like take out your check. Because I had a checkbook cover as well. Because I used to Bank of Halifax. And I used to have a checkbook cover. It was like a nice blue one. And I remember like going to Waitrose or whatever. And then getting a pen out and writing out the check. And then putting my signature, because I got a big flamboyant signature. So writing out my checkbook like I was doing an autograph. It just felt so good. It just felt all grown up. And I think I once spent 20p using a checkbook in WH Smith. Because I was buying a newspaper. Not for me, of course, but I think I was buying a newspaper. And I paid by check. But they were so good. Because it's like buy now, pay later. You know? But it's just weird. I was just thinking to myself, I was like, when the fuck did checkbooks stop? Because, like I said, we always hear like, oh, you've only got, you know, till this date to use this old £1 coin or blah, blah, blah. It's like a big deal. But then checkbooks, I never remember hearing or reading. Where's that coming from? Or reading that you've only got to this date to write a check to a shop. But funny that. But the thing is, I know I'm talkative to people at checkouts and shops and stuff, but I can't be asked to ask that question, to be quite frank. I can't be asked. I just wanted to like go in, pay for my shit and go home or go to the next place. But it's only like those moments when I'm at your mercy, or I've just thought, you know what, let's have a little chat. I start talking to people, but normally than that, I'm just don't bother. So another thing, so I went into Robert Dias because Robert Dias do the best bin liners. And I've always bought bin liners from Robert Dias. The ones which are like 2 for like £5. And they're a big jumbo pack. But they're just the best bin liners ever because they don't break. And I've naturally got long nails and my nails don't tear through the bin liners. Seriously, I can talk all day about their bin liners. They're amazing bin liners. Absolutely amazing. How sad is that I'm going on about bin liners? But anyway, so I went into Robert Dias and the bin liners weren't by the till like they normally are. So I had to go right into the shop. And the thing is, I realised that like when I was younger, Robert Dias was like an amazing shop. I used to love the shop. Like to go in there, see what they got, especially candles. I love candles. I've got an addiction to candles. Love candles, tea lights, anything. But they've got to be scented, not unscented. Unscented candles are meant to be for churches, as far as I'm concerned, not for the home. But yeah, so when I walked into the Double Dust, I was thinking, oh my gosh, am I going to have an anxiety attack right now? Because, whoa, it's just so crammed. It's just crammed. It's almost like they've taken people's unwanted shit from other stores and just crammed it in there. It's like a TK Maxx without the clothing. Like TK Maxx, I hate going in there. Primark, hate going in there. I have to take deep breaths before I walk in, like deep breaths. But yeah, so Robert Dias was it's just so chaotic. And then you got that JML advert in the background, like, JML, you know, remove spots, removes this, removes that. But yeah, it's so annoying. But yeah, and the weird thing about, especially the one in St. Albans, is you can't, it's not like most shops where you can't see staff members walking around. JML, Robert Dias, always has people on the shop floor, and they're so lovely as well. They're very good and everything. But for some reason, I don't know if I was just stressing out because of the whole, the noise. Not noise as in sound noise, but noise as in, everything's around me. Like, oh my gosh, it looks so stuffed and like, cluttered. But I think it affected my vision because I couldn't find. But then I remembered, like, most of them are quite short. Not like, we're all short. Well, I'm short. But it seemed like all the customers were tall. So I was like, oh shit, I've now got to like go round customers to see if there's a little Oompa Loompa like me, like be talking to them in a uniform. And not me wearing a uniform, they're wearing a uniform. And so I saw one staff member dealing with a customer. But I think I've mentioned before, I don't like looking for things when I go into a shop. I walk into a shop, as soon as I clock you, the staff member, I will come to you and I will say, where is such and such? Even if it's right there in front of me, because I hate looking around for things. I just hate it. No reason why. It's not about impulse buying, even though I'm a sucker for that. But it's not about impulse buying. It's just that I hate looking for things. I don't mind if I'm looking for things in my flat, in my room, or wherever. But in a shop, I can't do that. I just can't. If I have to do that, things may kick off because it just gets to me. Even thinking about it is pissing me off. But anyway, so so there was a sales assistant dealing with another customer, this couple, and I kept thinking, because I noticed that she had said something. I guess it ended with a question mark, and then they paused for quite a long time. And then they answered her. I couldn't work out what was said, but I could tell body language and the style of the sentence. So as I was coming closer, I could see that these customers were unsure of either what they were purchasing or whether to purchase something or they wanted more details or something. Basically, I knew that they were going to be with this woman for a long time. And I kept thinking, okay, do I start looking around for things and getting short-tempered by myself? Or do I interrupt this little conversation that's going on in front of me? Because I stood there, I was trying to like get eye contact with the woman, and she did give me eye contact, so she knew I was there, and she kind of said to me like, 1 minute, you know, when you do that finger, and I nodded my head, but I didn't want to wait, because technically, like, you know, when you say to someone like, oh, give me a second, you don't actually mean a second, you know, you don't actually mean a second. So I know when you say 1 minute, it may not be a minute. It may be 15 or 75 or I don't know. So I kind of thought to myself, all right, let's take this one to the streets. I'm going to interrupt. And I literally said, excuse me, where's your bin liners? And she kind of like paused, like looked at me like, you know, kind of like, did you just interrupt me? Kind of thing. Like, I'm dealing with customers. Like, but I looked at her like, you know, like, seriously, you don't want to mess with me today. You don't want to mess with me. But, and that's when she was like, oh, yeah, it's at the back of the store. So, okay, thanks. Went to the back of the store, got my bin liners. You know, I thought, okay, yeah, £2.5, blah, blah, blah. Got to the till. No, not £2.5. And not £2, no, £2.5. Not £2, no, oh, I can't talk. Not 2 for £5 and not 2 for £6 like it once was. The offer had gone. Now, I've been buying these bin liners well over 10 years. I swear it is. I'm not going to lie. Well over 10 years. And to me, Robert Dias equals bin liners. Bin liners equals Robert Dias. And especially that offer. I think I remember the time it was 2 for £6, but normally it's 2 for £5. And I was like, oh, when I was at the till, I was like, sorry, what? It's not 2 for £5. No, it's not 2 for £6. No, the offer's gone. No. Like, literally, it was like the best gossip ever. Like, I was like, no. Seriously. And they were like, yep, you're going to take away the offer. And I thought, Robert, if you're listening, screw you. How dare you? It's like suddenly like MFI, which doesn't no longer exist, or DFS, suddenly don't have a sale. You know, it's, how can you do that? It's like McDonald's, yuck, 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 suddenly not doing burgers. Oh, we don't do burgers anymore. Huh? No, we don't do burgers anymore. We do chicken burgers. And then KFC going, oh, we don't do chicken anymore, which they nearly didn't. We only do burgers. It's like, what the hell? You know, are you kidding me? But yeah, so I guess, you know, you can be loyal to a company, loyal to a brand, but are they loyal to you? Hell no. Because if you were going to take off that offer, that was newsworthy. That should have been, my Sky News app should have been like giving that, whatever that sound is it makes. And it's like breaking news. Robert Dias have taken away their offer for their bin liners, the best bin liners in the world. But I still bought them, don't get me wrong, because they are the best bin liners in the world. But, and I would probably still continue buying them because the thing is with me, I'm a company's dream. When I stick to your product, service or brand, I stick to it, you know, and you've got to be pretty messed up for me to switch. But I'm so loyal that the price doesn't matter to me as long as you don't remove the bin liners. You know, I mean, it's not like you can buy bin liners every week, but please, somebody else must be buying those bin liners. My fear now is like, what if they discontinue them? Maybe this is the beginning of the end. What do I do? Where do I put my rubbish? What the hell? It's a sad, sad, sad situation. I don't know. Bin liners are so important. We take them for granted. You know, only because they carry our shit, like literally. The things that we don't want anymore. But we take them for granted. But trust me, when you've got no bin liners, you'll realise how important bin liners are. And you'll realise why. This is one of the longest rants on this week's podcast. And on that note, see you next week. Goodbye. Love, peace, and hair grease.
Oh, this you crazy mother.